All right, Shalom. I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashim Rakah, Quadash, the balance apostles of GMS, and sincere Shalom to the brothers out here pushing this truth and sincerity. And I have something here basically going into Social Security is a scam, which anything that's really giving you money is basically a scam. I'm talking about basically giving it for free. That goes to Social Security, to social services, to even unemployment. It's all just one big racketeering scam. Back then, it was probably a little bit easier to get away with, but you know how the government is. They'll find some form of way to do some catch-22 on you, right? And so in the title, it says, "How will millennials and Gen Z retire?" Now, I'm going to play the video, but I just want to make this quick point that we're seeing the economic collapse happening further and further. Now, that's not to say that we won't still probably be in this place for the next 50 years. Who knows? That's the time of the Lord is much different from ours. But we have faith that this place won't last another 50 years. But hypothetically, if this place should last another 50 years, 70 years or so, these are one of those questions that people don't have an answer for. Because every year, the society gets worse and worse and worse. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip.
This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're $35 trillion in debt. We don't have any money. We're dead broke. We are in huge trouble. In this body, we had better start figuring that out, because we're going to have a run on this city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, "Where's our damn money that we paid in?" I could have put my Social Security money for 40 years in tax in the market and probably be worth 8 to 10 million today. But the federal government wasted it. People are going to have to work, continue to work longer and longer. Am I right, Ms. Ginger? Can you say something about Social Security?
Yeah, and I'd like to point out when Social Security was first founded, those who established it was started out as a 2% tax, and they said this will never take more than 6% of your income. Today, it takes 12.4%, and depending on whether you go with CBO or Social Security trustees, it needs to take between 15.8 and 17.5.
So there you have it. Even they're saying that it's a scam. And he's even saying it. America's flat broke. The trillions of dollars that's up there right now, even when you look up the what is it, the U.S. debt clock, in the trillions. See, the funny part is you have, I want to say, all these different types of corporates going on. How you got millionaires, billionaires. I'm not sure if I ever heard of trillionaires, so I don't think that's a thing, except for those rats. They'll be the true trillionaires because they're the ones pumping his money. But anytime that anybody says that the land of milk and honey is flat broke, that tells you a lot. That tells you a hell of a lot. So let me get this scripture real quick. It's going to be a short video. This is Ecclesiastes 12:3. It says, "In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves." That's primarily going into even the military, but even the workers, as it even comes up here. It says, "And the grinders cease because they are few." Because guess what? Value of the dollar drops, everything else goes up. Inflation is a mother effer at this point, which means a lot more jobs are closing. As I mentioned in my last video, or the video prior, a lot of these stores are closing down to go to China. But even China and Russia is backing out of this money to go back to their own currency, to make their currency higher. So you have currently a bunch of riots, a lot of angry, pissed off people, delinquent presidents, low value money. I mean, and the list goes on and on. But for the past, I think ever since that last virus hit, I've been seeing more and more. What do I say? More and more elderly come out of retirement and actually go back to working again. Even the elderly that's in wheelchairs is actually working. So in order for you to be doing that, that goes to show you that the money that you have saved and well in place for this society was never guaranteed, because it was still not enough. Mind you, those are elderly back in 2020, probably 2019. You fast forward from millennials and Gen Z all the way up to, I don't know, 50 years from now, or say, I'll say 30 from millennials, 40, 50 for Gen Z. That may not be a such thing as retirement by the time that hits. So there's going to be a lot of stuff kicking off. And that's if this place even makes it that far, right? It says, and those that look out the windows be darkened. And that doesn't always just mean literally out the windows, but some people will literally look out the windows and be darkened. All upset, angry. That's why you get all these riots that constantly keep popping up left and right. Of course, you got the agent provocateurs probably spicing it up a little bit more because they pay them as well. But Esau's stoking them flames for the people to get pissed off even more and more, because he don't care about these people. It's these people here that have hope in this place. But Esau's trying to trying to dump this old ways to build a new one. Meanwhile, China's trying to do the same thing. He's even admitted he's ready to be the next superpower. Russia's ready to be the next superpower. All these other nations are ready to be the next superpower, to be a copy of this place, and they all going to fall short, right? But going back to the far as that these people going to be darkened, you have people literally out here strung out fentanyl, a list of things for a list of reasons. But even people are seeing their own prize, quote unquote prize, or their own what do I want to say? I wouldn't say prize, but it's something else. But basically, they're seeing their own lifestyle crumble in front of them. No more comfortability or any of that stuff. Even now, even some of us ain't getting as comfortable as we used to. Because now we also got to catch sorry, words are losing me. But we catching the short end of the stick now. The difference between us and these people is we seen it coming, right? So this is Ezekiel 13 and 14. It says, So will I break down the wall that ye have daubed with untempered mortar. Now, I think I'm just checking into that daub just in case anybody else doesn't know. It's like it. That word daub, I think I'm pronouncing it. As you see here, to cover or coat with soft adhesive matter, which is basically like, as it said, mortar, which is just basically heat and rock, or plaster, as it says here. To coat with a dirty substance, right? To apply coloring material crudely, to apply such as paint crudely, right? To put on a false exterior. So let's go back real quick, because it's a dirty substance that's put on to a false exterior, right? So it says, so will I break down the wall that ye have dubbed with untempered mortar, and bring it down to the ground. And see, in mind you, as you see at the bottom, this is basically the Lord speaking. But this place that was made how it is now, it's all going to come crashing down. See how this place is. I'm sorry, just even for example, a house. You don't keep maintenance on that house long enough, it could crumble. It may stay there for a long time, and it will, but eventually it will collapse, or the foundation of it will be extremely weak. That's why even when you get certain very old buildings, like from the 1800s, 1900s, and you fast forward to now, they'll knock them down and then rebuild them. It's the same thing here. Except there won't be no rebuilding here. It would just be straight fire. Right? It says, so that the foundation thereof shall be discovered. So that the foundation of thereof shall be discovered. Let's go back to where it says to put on a false exterior. Right? So that foundation is a false exterior. That all the lies and all the lies we've been told, all these what's the word? Philosophies. All these philosophies that we've been told, all these so-called freedoms and rights and all this other stuff. Anything to keep us oppressed was the false foundation, was a false makeup of this place. And we know it. Some people even admits to it, but they will still follow blindly with all this stuff. And so be it. The Lord wakes up who he wants. And that's not to say some of those people that said it ain't gonna be of the hopeful elect. They'll wake up out of their own madness out of that. Right? And it says, and it shall fall, and ye shall be consumed in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. So the Lord is going to make that power known. Even where I live now, my brother told me, I was at work, so I didn't really hear about it. But where I live, I think like 4 tornadoes touched down back to back when it was like a bunch of rain here. And I was like, that has to be the power of the Lord, to be tornadoes running back to back in the same day like that for the next couple days afterwards. That tells you something. So that power of the Lord is not to be laughed at. But these people laugh now, but the Lord's the one who ultimately gets the last laugh. So I just want to go into that. So Lord willing, this is a little edifying of that. Shalom.